The mid-century Pisan allegory of death, a bad reproduction made before it was damaged in the last war, epitomizes late Gothic, a moral vision yeasty with new life. Where the rock gully of the fallen world sprouts ephemeral flowers, a troop of hunters encounter three corpses. They draw back, one holds his nose. Above the coffins, a hermit displays the scroll of our vanity. And the whole scene opens for us. Right of center, a bat-winged death swings her scythe over mounds of bodies. Beggars, the blind and halt, petition her to take them, cumber worlds, like forsaken Troilus, deliver new the world of May, that am the woefulest wished. Capricious as fortune, that holds but by a wire, she advances into the orange grove of delight, where Cupids, already on the wing, lead long-fingered ladies, Langland, and ye lovely ladies, with your longer fingers, in music and courtly love. Death mows, and the moisture-laden souls breathe from the mouths, to be borne up and away by angels, or stuffed by demons in the flaming hill, or, as twice in Dante, tugged above and below. Better in this brunt to join the dark age hermits on the hill. So Petrarch brings his spent years to a pious close. Now I go grieving for the days on earth I passed in worship of a mortal thing. But regret cannot quench the flames of a lifetime. Veggio, penso, ardo, piango, e chi mi sface sempre me innanzi per mia dolce pena. I wake, I brood, I burn, I weep. She who wounds me is with me always in my honeyed grief. Chaucer, too, brings the Troilus to a poetic retraction. O young fresh folkes, he or she, in which that love upgroweth with your age, repaireth home fro worldly vanity, and of your heart upcasteth the visage to thilke God, that after his image you made, and thinketh all is but a fair this world, that passeth soon as flores fair. But that wise counsel melts in the burning touch Chaucer's art was part of. Hier armes small, hier streichte back and soft, hier sides long, fleshly, smooth and wheat, he gan to stroke, and good thrift bad full oft, hier snowish throat, hier breastes round and leet. Thus in this heaven he gan him to delete, and therewithal 1,000 team here kissed, that what to down for joy unaith he wist. In the deepening incarnation of late Gothic, Chaucer looks back to 1300 Psalters and forward to the Van Eyck Eve, painted 27 years after his death. Even the Limburg Eve follows him by 13 years, yet in sensuous caress Chaucer may surpass the bubble Eden of the Trerish Earls. Where is mine own lady, lief and dear? Where is her white breast? Where is it, where? The beauty and question of earth cuts the age of faith like a sword. The antecedent refinements are in Trecento, Italy, Maitani on the facade of Orvieto. In music it is Landini, blind organist of Florence, who smooths Ars Nova progressions almost to the limpid grace with which the 15th century begins. A sweetness rivalled in Chaucer's English, nu welcome summer with the sun softer, that has this winter's weathers overshaka, and driven away the long nichtes blake. In Boccaccio's Decameron, a joy-loving company withdraw from the scythe of the Black Death in Florence, yet even the escape is planned in the church of Santa Maria Novella, to which the ladies return when their 10 days of storytelling are done. And if we ask the context of these Spanish chapel dancing girls, we find them to the right, in an allegory of the triumph of the church, through the cloister of that same Santa Maria Novella. We see their child gaiety yield just above to music and thought, from which a man in green rises, Boccaccio, Chaucer, to kneel near a settle and prepare by confession for Christ's judgment gate over the Cathedral of Florence, the plan lately agreed on 1366-8, though the dome would not be built for 60 years. From the triple portal spilled all phases of medieval life. Even Chaucer's most ribald characters have their sacred tie, like Troilus within the temple playing. They play on pilgrimage. When the visionary soul of England, revealed in the Douce Apocalypse about 1270, expands to the new century, judgment finds in Langland a witness solider than this St. John. In a summer season, once oft was the sunne, he shop a man shrewdest as he a shape aware. In habit as an hermit unholy of workes, went weed in this world wondrous to hear. Ac on a May morning, on Malverne hills, me befell a fairly of fairy me thochte. He was weary for wandered, and went me to rest, under a broade bank be a burne side. And as he lay and leaned and looked in the waters, he slumbered in a sleeping, it swaved so Maria. Then again he to meten a mervelous a swaven, that he was in a wilderness, wist he never where. As he beheld into the east and hecht to the sunne, he sech a tour on a tuft, trail he marked. A deeper dale beneath, a dungeon therein, with deeper ditches and dark and dreadful of sight. A fair field full of folk, a fond he there between, of all manner of men, the men and the richer, working and wandering, as the world asketh. Like Piers the Ploughman, like Guillaume de Machaut's four-voiced cry for Christ the light and Creator Spirit, the Angers tapestries body forth apocalypse. What bore on Rome and the early church, Nero and the legions, seats itself in the corruption and crisis, the expected radical reform of the estates of Europe and France. It is the good, Langland's peers, Chaucer's farmer and poor parson, who face the horseman or the dragon. The clustered fours of scenes, with the canopied bishops of Asia, are framed, like Giotto's frescoes at Padua, in a symbolic space. A top border of angels, stars, clouds, a base of flowered earth. Between, the anagogical coming is of here and now. The very spirit butterflies of the 7 churches display the married wings of Anjou lilies and Britannia ermine. Gothic from the first had symbolic immediacy. Take hell and the deadly sins. What happens over 400 years from Chaucer to Rubens is the fleshly engrossment of a spiritual dread, an orgy of amplification, which the time of Chaucer and Langland focuses. The Ancren ruler, like Chaucer, is of about 1210. The sluggard lies asleep in the devil's lap, his dear drab, his minion. The fiend lays his muzzle close to his ear, and prompts him just as he pleases. Spenser's 1590 procession of the sins is squeamish of its flesh. Loathsome gluttony on a filthy swine, his belly was upblown with luxury, and all the way, most like a brutish beast, he spewed up his gorge, that all did him detest. It is Ben Jonson's pig woman, fat Ursula, Bartholomew Fair, who plays the Rubens role. Is she your quagmire, Daniel Knockham? Is this your bog? 'Twere like falling into a whole shire of butter, Ursula. Hang 'em, rotten, roguey cheaters! I hope to see 'em plagued one day. Pox they are already, I am sure, with lean playhouse poultry that has the bony rump sticking out like the ace of spades or the point of a partisan, that every rib of 'em is like the tooth of a saw, and will so grate 'em with their hips and shoulders as, take 'em all together, they were as good lie with a hurdle. Ursula falls with the pan. Curse of hell that ever I saw these fiends! Oh, I ha' scalded my leg, my leg, my leg, my leg! I ha' lost a limb in the service. Are you under peering, you baboon? Rip off my hose, and you be men, men, men. If we move in by a century from either side, we come around 1300 to the Freiburg Lust, her suggestive hand rutted by the hoof of a goat. Or in Manning, handling sin, the couple who lived by the church. One night there he knew his wife, in fleshly deed, such was their life. But God was displeased, he willed it not, so near the church such deed were wrought. They might no more be pulled asunder than dog and bitch, at which men wonder. On the 1500 side it is Grunewald, with Dunbar's dance of the 7 deadly sins. Priests came in with bare shaven necks, then all the fiends laughed and made gex, black belly and bawsy brown. Lechery, that loathly course, came snorting like a big-bagged horse, with him an ugly crew. They led each other by the terces. If they fouled with their erses, there was nothing you could do. Midway are the earthy sins of Langland, lechery. Each maid I met with, I made her a sign, seeming to sinward. Some I would taste about the mouth, grope some beneath, till our wills were one, and to work we go. I lay by the loveliest, and loved them never after. In Italy, the grotesquerie mounts from Dante's brawls around the boiling pitch and the fart of Malacoda, bad tale, del cul fatto trompetta, to the 1393 San Gimignano sadistic hell, where the devils handle their bad tales in switch manier it may not ben expressed. Or where the squatting fiend dungs gold into the pursed-out usurer, as Langland says, for a whore of her arse-winnings may better tithe than an arrant usurer, so help me God. But it is the drunkenness of glutton for which Langland is best known. Under school of Giotto fertilization, as in this manuscript also of the Sins, a surge of late Gothic realism parallels Chaucer's third style. Turn up the choir seats in the churches. From about 1380 on, the misericords the priests had carved there were of the foibles of flesh, a drunk husband trundled home in a wheelbarrow. Here is Langland's gluttony. There was laughing and lowering, and let go the copper, and setten so till evensong, and songen wheeler, till glutton had he globbed a gallon and a gilda. His gut is gone to godly as 'twog ready suus, he pissed a pottle in a paternoster wheeler, and blow his round ruet at his rigbone ender, that all that heard that horn held her nose after, and wished it had be whipped with a wisp of verses. He stumbled on the thresher wold and throwed to the earther. Clement the cobbler cocked him by the middle for to lift him aloft and laid him on his knowes. Och, glutton was a great churl and grim in the lifting, and coughed up a caudle in Clementis lapper. Is none so hungry hound in Hertfordshire durst lapper the levingus, so unlovely they smocked her. Bosch begins his work around 1475 with the 7 deadly sins, still in the spirit of Langland. In English literature, the 15th